Welcome to our Defense Briefing Show, where today we bring you some gripping stories from around the globe. First up, a big win for military families in Hawaii after a jet fuel leak contaminated their water. A judge has awarded over $680,000 in damages. While the families are still fighting for more, this case highlights the importance of accountability for environmental hazards affecting our service members. Next, tensions are soaring in South Asia as India and Pakistan clash over Kashmir. Reports of drone and missile exchanges have led to nearly 50 deaths, making this the worst conflict in over 20 years. Both nations are throwing accusations, and the world is watching nervously, hoping for a peaceful resolution. Finally, over in Australia, the US military is ramping up its presence with a new plan to ship high-risk explosives and armaments. This expansion supports regional security and rapid deployment, showing how strategic partnerships like AUKUS are shaping the future of military cooperation in the Indo-Pacific. Please continue to watch for more detailed insights and updates on these stories. The Honolulu Star-Advertiser reports a landmark legal victory for Hawaii military families affected by a 2021 jet fuel leak which contaminated their drinking water near Pearl Harbor. A federal judge awarded over $680,000 collectively to 17 families, acknowledging their health issues, but noting insufficient evidence to establish a direct cause and effect link between the fuel spill and their ailments. Despite the awards being significantly lower than the family's original demands, the ruling serves as a symbolic win, highlighting the ongoing struggles of thousands of other victims still awaiting justice. The families, represented by attorney Christina Baer, expressed disappointment but pride in their perseverance, asserting that their case proved the Navy's culpability and refuted claims that their symptoms were psychosomatic. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation details the recent escalation of hostilities between India and Pakistan, with Jammu experiencing sirens, flashes, and projectile attacks during what officials describe as Pakistani drone and missile strikes. The conflict has rapidly intensified, with both nations claiming to have intercepted or downed multiple missiles and drones, resulting in nearly 40 deaths over 2 days. India reported hitting Pakistani military sites in retaliation for earlier attacks, while Pakistan denied involvement in some strikes and vowed to defend its sovereignty. The international community, including the US, Russia, and China, has called for de-escalation amid fears of another nuclear confrontation as both countries exchange fire and accusations along their disputed Kashmir border. Yahoo US examines a misleading viral video claiming to show a wounded Pakistani official amid the India-Pakistan tensions of May 2025. The footage, widely shared with sensational captions, actually depicts a Pakistani Air Force training aircraft that crashed earlier in April due to technical failure, with pilots safely ejecting. The incident was confirmed by Pakistani authorities and media, predating the recent hostilities. This clarification underscores how misinformation can spread rapidly during conflicts, emphasizing the importance of verifying sources. The incident's timing, well before the recent escalation triggered by terrorist attacks and missile exchanges, highlights the complex, layered nature of the ongoing tensions, which have been fueled by long-standing disputes over Kashmir and nuclear arms. The U.S. Army is undergoing a significant transformation as reported by Yahoo US, with the recent announcement of merging its Futures Command with the Training and Doctrine Command into a new entity called the Army's Transformation and Training Command. This consolidation aims to streamline the Army's modernization efforts, reduce bureaucratic hurdles, and enhance the connection between soldiers' needs and procurement processes. The new headquarters will be based in Austin, Texas, the current home of Army Futures Command, which was originally established during President Trump's administration to accelerate modernization programs, particularly in long-range precision fires and missile defense. Over the past 4 years, AFC evolved from a control tower for investments into a more advisory body focused on future technologies, but now, Army leadership believes that merging it with TRADOC will foster better integration of design, doctrine, and training, ultimately enabling the Army to adapt more swiftly to emerging threats. Deutsche Welle highlights the historical contributions of East African soldiers during World War II, particularly through the King's African Rifles, a division comprising African soldiers fighting for the British Empire. These soldiers played crucial roles in battles across Africa against Italians and in Burma against their Japanese forces, demonstrating remarkable bravery and resilience. DW recounts stories from veterans in Kenya, emphasizing how these soldiers not only contributed significantly to the Allied war effort, but also left a legacy of courage and sacrifice that remains remembered today. Their service exemplifies the often overlooked global dimension of WWI, illustrating how soldiers from East Africa participated actively in pivotal battles that shaped the course of history. Australian Broadcasting Corporation reports on the expansion of U.S. military logistics in Australia, revealing plans to ship high-risk explosives, gases, and radioactive materials to Australian ports as part of a broader strategic posture in the Indo-Pacific region. The U.S. Department of Defense is seeking tenders to handle these dangerous cargoes, which are intended to support joint exercises and regional security initiatives under the AUKUS alliance. This expansion includes increased arms shipments to secondary ports like Point Wilson, signaling a maturing U.S. military presence that enhances rapid deployment capabilities across the region. Experts interpret these developments as a sign of the U.S. strengthening its strategic footprint in Australia, ensuring faster response times and greater regional stability amid ongoing geopolitical tensions. Deutsche Welle vividly captures the spirit of Russia's Victory Day celebrations, illustrating how the nation, steeped in the memory of over 25 million Soviet lives lost in WWI, now employs this historic anniversary as a powerful tool of national identity and ideological reinforcement. The article describes young children dressed as soldiers and toddlers in cardboard tanks participating in patriotic parades across Russia, symbolizing a generational link to the past. These scenes serve as more than mere remembrance. They are orchestrated displays of unity and strength, with officials like regional governors emphasizing pride that some of the youngest marchers are descendants of those who fought in Ukraine. The narrative underscores how the Kremlin has transformed Victory Day from a somber commemoration of sacrifice into a militarized spectacle used to bolster the regime's legitimacy and draw parallels between the Soviet victory and Russia's current geopolitical stance, as President Putin and his propagandists invoke the heroism of 1945 to justify present-day conflicts and national pride. Yahoo US details the recent legal victory for military families affected by environmental negligence at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam, where jet fuel contaminated drinking water in 2021. The court's ruling confirms that the Navy was liable under the Federal Tort Claims Act, acknowledging the family's exposure to hazardous chemicals and their resulting health issues. The story recounts how up to 93,000 residents were exposed after a pipe rupture released thousands of gallons of fuel, yet the military initially downplayed the severity, claiming the contamination was minimal. The family's lawsuits highlight the Navy's negligence in both preventing the spill and providing adequate medical care, with damages awarded for pain, suffering, and future expenses. This landmark case not only underscores the devastating consequences of environmental mismanagement, but also signifies a crucial step in holding military institutions accountable for safeguarding the health of those who serve and reside on bases. Deutsche Welle's report on the contributions of East African soldiers during World War II sheds light on a lesser-known chapter of history, focusing on the King's African Rifles, a division of African troops fighting for the British Empire. These soldiers played a vital role in the African theater, battling Italians in East Africa and Japanese forces in Burma, demonstrating remarkable bravery and resilience. The article features interviews with surviving veterans in Kenya, offering personal insights into their experiences and sacrifices. Their participation was instrumental in the broader Allied effort, yet their stories remain underrepresented in mainstream WWI narratives. The piece honors their legacy, emphasizing how these soldiers not only fought in distant lands, but also helped shape the course of history, illustrating the global and diverse nature of the war effort. Yahoo US reports that Dixie Denise Villa, a 46-year-old former babysitter, was sentenced to 20 years in prison for the manslaughter of 7-month-old Abigail Lobish, who died from an antihistamine overdose in her unlicensed daycare in Hawaii in 2019. Abigail, described as a loving and joyful baby with kind eyes, tragically lost her life after ingesting a dangerously high level of diphenhydramine, nearly twice the typical fatal dose for infants. The case revealed serious lapses in safety, as Villa operated an unlicensed daycare despite multiple shutdowns by military officials, highlighting the risks of unregulated childcare on military bases. The medical evidence confirmed the lethal dose of Benadryl in Abigail's blood, and the court emphasized that such medication should never be given to a baby. The incident prompted the Department of Defense to investigate and crack down on unauthorized daycare operations on military installations. Abigail's mother, Anna Lobish, tearfully expressed her enduring grief, sharing how her life has been overshadowed by the loss of her beloved daughter, and the court acknowledged the family's long wait for justice, underscoring the importance of accountability for those entrusted with caring for children.
Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses thoughtfully curated by the 6DO team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6DO Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6DO team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6DO Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6DO Brief via email.
Turn on the screen, monsters screaming. Empty smiles, their words mislead.